Oh, these are, first of all, of course, two good reasons to be happy to be here, because I know Sylvain, but we never had the chance to perform together. We met in Paris, and I know how wonderful musician he is, and of course the orchestra, which is very famous and known orchestra for its excellence. I just, for the first time, saw the hall, which is also fantastic, beautiful acoustic. So, and we are playing Elgar concerto, which is certainly one of the most beloved cello concerto of all time. So these are all good reasons to be very happy to be here in Mexico. This was an incredible chance, of course. As a very young musician, I was 18, 19 years old, and I had always admired him. So I think the main thing is now seeing it with a distance of time, of course, is to value as much as possible the idea of transmission. The music history is a story of transmission from great musicians, composers to interpreters, and not really tradition. I'm not somebody who believes in tradition so much, but in transmission. I think that is something. It is also transmitting a spirit, and Menuhin was wonderful for that. And all the greatest musicians that I had the chance to work with as a young musician, they daily, until now, inspire me in the idea that we are here to make the masterpieces of the past and of today, of course, because music is a living art. We have to make them alive as much as we can and share them with the audience, of course. Many, but I think one of the most important aspects is the generous commitment, and that he put in everything he was doing, and also into new music. Of course, we know him for the great interpretations of the repertoire, the known repertoire, but he was also very committed at enlarging the repertoire for cello, and this is something this is inspiring for me. I love working with modern contemporary composers, and I do it in my way, trying to enlarge the repertoire for the cello. You are absolutely right. This is extremely emotional, but in a way which is also extremely noble. So there is a sense of depth and of dignity at the same time, which is very special in the music of Elgar. It is inspiring because this is a man not so young anymore who writes that just after the First World War. So of course, at a difficult time, he has not composed for many years before because of the difficulties of the time. And then he recalls somewhat something of a lost world, but with him it's not a lost world anymore because it lives through his inspiration, and this is a bit like a novel in a way. This is a storytelling. The cello is a narrator of a life of a man, and with happy moments, of course, as well, very lively moments. Sometimes it's a bit like street music, like circus music, a lot of virtuosity, but overall probably this little bit melancholic, but soft melancholy of Elgar, which is until now touching our hearts. Well, of course, this is always a very interesting question because we can never show that we see things as they were written. This is always a very difficult aspect for an interpreter because we live a different time, because we are different people. But at the same time, I think this is a characteristic of the big masterpieces of music and art in general, literature, painting, sculpture. They are timeless. They speak to us in spite of space and time. And I think this is one of the most beautiful things about music, that music speaks to us regardless to where we are in the world, to when we are in the world, and to our culture, our language. I think this is a beauty of the real masterpieces. They speak to us until now. No, it is unique, and she's unique. She's like a star of the music in the 20th century, in the art of interpretation, of not only Elgar, by the way, of many things. Her life is extremely inspiring, and she made that concerto popular. But I think the last thing a cellist should do is to try to imitate Jacqueline du Pré, because she's absolutely unique.
Thank you so much for this conversation.